It doesn't really get better than that, does it, guys? Welcome back to Operation Arsenal, where Arsenal have beaten West Ham at the London Stadium 6-0. That's where they put in brackets, SIX bracket. You know, on Match of the Day, sometimes the score is so high, they will put the letters of the number. just to clarify, it is 6-0. Actually, I don't know if 6 is high enough. It might be 7, 8, 9, I don't know. But either way, guys, as I said, it doesn't get much better than that. What a performance. Just look at these ratings. Can I just say how awful Raya was today? A 7.1. Useless. Terminate his contract immediately. Everyone's getting 8s and 9s. And I don't think Raya did anything. I'm just trying to imagine now, at any point in that game, did he do anything? I mean, there was a couple of moments where I think there was one that was offside and he made a save, so it didn't even matter. There was a bit where he grabbed the ball from a deflection, but genuinely, I think Raya might feel like he could play another game right away. He did nothing. But honestly, I could go through the entire team today and I'd only have positives to say. Kivior, I was nervous for about 10 or 15 minutes. Every time Kudus got on the ball for West Ham, running at Kivior, I thought, ooh, this is making me a bit nervous. I'm not so sure about this, but he was brilliant for the rest of the game. He was brilliant the whole game. It was just one of those moments where I was thinking, who's their main danger man? You know, Bowen, of course, Ward-Prowse on free kicks, but Kudus has been incredible for West Ham. But Kivior did really well. Gabriel, I mean, we all talk about Saliba constantly, but Gabriel, 150th game for Arsenal today. Flawless. Him and Bowen, that matchup was absolutely hilarious to watch. You could see Bowen was getting so wound up. He was furious with just how physical Gabriel is. And I'm telling you right now, if I had to choose a defender I would not want to play against in the Premier League, it would be Gabriel. I can't think of anyone else in the Premier League that would just annoy me so much. He's so quick. He's so strong, so good in the air. He's dominant and he's vicious. He's aggressive. He's exactly what you want next to you in defence. And I love the passion. All of them showed it. 6-0 up and they're literally high-fiving and hugging each other from conceding a corner instead of a goal. You know, there was a shot from Kudus really close to the goal and it eventually got blocked, and they're all hugging each other. It's 6-0, and they are absolutely over the moon with a clean sheet, and they will be earning their bonuses today. Saliba, flawless. What a goal from Saliba and Gabriel, by the way. We saw last night Leverkusen 3-0 winners against Bayern, and what a performance that was, by the way. I feel like I'm a Leverkusen fan, not just because of the career mode, because of Granit Xhaka as well. But you're seeing top teams get a lot of goals with their defenders. They do it in a different way with, overlapping wing backs, but we're getting so many goals from defenders, and that means that there's less pressure, a little bit less pressure on the forwards and the midfielders to get all the goals. It is worth pointing out, we're so good from set pieces, and you're seeing teams like Leverkusen with defenders scoring goals. It just helps out so much, and I can't think of a better example, really, for Arsenal at least. Saliba and Gabriel both scoring from set pieces. Ben White getting an assist as well. I thought he was very good today. It's crazy that he's getting an 8 rating, Ben White. Obviously, he did get the assist, but he didn't put in, the most amazing performance ever. It just goes to show how good everyone was. And when everyone's playing well, everyone else gets lifted. We're not carrying anyone in this club. And there's something I need to talk about with the summer coming up and the fact that we're leaving certain players behind now. We're starting to see a real gap between proper Arsenal first-team quality and the not first-team quality players, and we do need to be a bit ruthless in the window when it opens. But Ødegaard, 2 assists, Rice, 2 assists, and of course, that goal. Didn't celebrate it. Fair play to the guy. He absolutely smashes one in from outside the box and then just, total respect. He spent, I think, almost a decade at West Ham, and at the end, he left on good terms, I thought, winning a European trophy, which we don't even have. Fair play to West Ham. I know it's just the Conference League, but still, I don't think he deserved any boost today, but I can't comment. I'm not a West Ham fan. I'm an Arsenal fan that's been through this so many times with players leaving, and I'm so glad we're entering an era where our best players are staying, because we're obviously we're right up there as one of the best teams. We're not one of those selling clubs anymore. So I can relate to West Ham fans being upset at their best player leaving and going to Arsenal, but he needed that move. And you could see it today. We've lost to West Ham twice this year. And I really thought we didn't deserve at least one of those. We absolutely battered them and still lost. But it was an example today of Declan Rice, unfortunately, I'm sorry, West Ham fans, but making a step in the right direction in his career. He deserves to be at the very top. If Arsenal don't win trophies in the next few years, he will move on. He will go to a Man City. He will go to a Real Madrid or whatever because he's good enough. He's the best defensive midfielder in the league. And I would say quite clearly at the moment. I can't think of anyone who comes that closely other than Rodri, of course, which goes without saying. Havertz, quiet in terms of goals and assists, but involved in everything. Saka, 2 goals, gets man of the match, even though I would have given it to Rice. Trossard was brilliant today. Martinelli, quiet again without getting a goal or assist, but he was just a nuisance. I think not his best performance ever, but still contributed a lot. I don't know what else to say, guys. Everyone was fantastic, but there is one glaring issue for me today, and it comes down to Mikel Arteta's stubbornness. Really happy to see Nwaneri finally come on at 6-0. I would have brought him on at half-time. The thing is, okay, I can kind of understand that, and Arteta will say it himself, he wants to protect these young players. We're 4-0 up at half-time. Let's say you throw on 3 academy players, including Nwaneri, and all of a sudden West Ham score, and then they get another one. 4-2. You can see where that can go. That could be a slippery slope. Before you know it, we're experiencing what we had at St. James's Park all those years ago, where we were 4-0 up at half-time and we drew 4-4. I can kind of get it from that perspective, but surely just throwing one of them on, I thought it was very strange that it wasn't just Martinelli. I thought Ødegaard, Saka, one of them could have been brought off at half-time because it's 4-0. But then it was 5-0, and I thought, we're still not making subs? That 5th goal went in 63rd minute, Saka's 2nd goal. Took a few more minutes, and I'm just thinking, come on, bring him on. Bring on Nwaneri, and I thought he did really well when he came on. But the thing that's really bothering me is less so the El Neni sub, but the Cedric sub. So to put it into perspective, we had Walters on the bench. He is a Ben White. He's a centre-back that can play as a right-back. We don't know how he's going to slot into this Arsenal team if he ever makes it. I would guess as a right-back, because I think Arteta and Pep share the same thoughts. They like a physical right-back now, a taller, basically a centre-back playing out wide. And I think that's what Walters will bring. Why are we bringing on Cedric Soares, who is very obviously going in the summer? He almost left in January. I think he was almost going to Turkey. The only reason I can think of is we're trying to make him look good, get a transfer fee, but is he not running out of... I don't know. Is his contract coming to an end? Either way, why is Cedric coming on when we could bring on Walters? That upset me. That did upset me. And Jorginho was injured, by the way. I don't know why he's listed on the bench. Was he available? I thought he had a foot problem, but either way, that bothered me. And El Neni, who, by the way, I watched for Egypt, and he looks pretty good at the moment. He's been back to full fitness. He's been playing games for Egypt. But, I mean, the quality of the games that Egypt had compared to playing in the Premier League, and I'm just seeing, the fact that we could bring on some... Actually, wait. Bandera, I don't know much about this guy. I think he is a midfielder, right? Yeah, he's a central midfielder. He was playing at Colchester. So this is just another one of those young players that's kind of come out of nowhere and I don't know too much about. But if he's a midfielder, why is he not coming in instead of El Neni? I wish Mikel wasn't so... I mean, the word is stubborn, but I can understand the safety of this. You don't want to bring on 3 young players at 4-0 and then we lose 5-4. Can you imagine what that would do to them? They would know it was basically down to them. And also, there's quite a few games coming up, but we haven't been full on in the last few weeks. There was quite a long period of time where we've had players able to rest. So I'm okay with a few players getting maybe an extra few minutes when maybe they wouldn't need to. Quick word on West Ham, because I don't know what's going to happen from this. This is now, 3-0 at United, 6-0 against us today. They seem to go on runs where they're hard to beat and they do well, but then they just get slapped up, and they're 8th at the moment. Losing 6-0 isn't good enough, obviously, and the fans were leaving at half-time in their thousands. Personally, for me, Moyes wouldn't be going anywhere. I at least finish the season. I think the last thing you want to do is swap managers now. But the thing is, there are some very good managers available, and it wouldn't surprise me if maybe this could be a bit too much for David Moyes to come back from, because there's been periods where he's seemingly on the cusp of being fired, but then they keep hold of him. And I think we're getting to the point now where it's this, isn't it? This is West Ham at the moment. So I'd like to know, comments down below, West Ham fans, would you back your manager still now, or would you like to see him gone? I think they invested the money they got for Rice very well this summer. They've got a squad capable of finishing in that top 6, top 7 for sure. 8th isn't the worst result ever, but the thing is, if they play like this, if they continue like this, they won't finish in the top 8. They'll get replaced easily by a Brighton, a Wolves, even a Fulham. That's tough. And Calvin Phillips, my God, he's had a horrendous start. And also, good to see Mavropanos, ex-Arsenal player. Here's a quick look at the stats, and then we'll jump over on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it these days. It's absolute annihilation. We had a higher expected goals than that, by the way. I'm pretty sure there's an account I follow who is very accurate, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be over 4. We could have had so many more. I mean, the Trossard shot that was saved and multiple other chances. I'm surprised it wasn't more than 6, to be honest. 25 shots. I mean, the thing is, we did this against West Ham last time. I think we had more. We had more shots last time, and we lost the game. It just goes to show it's about putting your chances away. 6 big chances, 2 big chances missed. It was a really good performance in front of goal. I love this. The consistency. We're not having shots out wide at all, and that's very evident when you watch this team. So up next, I think we've got Burnley, if I'm not wrong. Let me just go ahead and double check, as we are solidifying top 3 at the moment. It's such a shame that Tottenham got that last minute goal. That would have been nice. A few extra points above them. But I think it's Burnley up next. Yep. And then it's the Champions League game. And then really tough run. Newcastle, I think at home will be okay. They actually haven't been doing that very well recently. Sheffield United away, I'm cautious about that. That's the kind of game where we do slip up. Brentford, Porto, Chelsea, 3 home games in a row. But there's quite a bit of time in between these matches. I think we're looking pretty good, aren't we? Over on Twitter, though, love this. Martin Ødegaard, the first player to create 50-plus chances from open play in the top 7 European leagues. In terms of chances created in open play, there is no one doing better than Martin Ødegaard. West Ham 0, Arsenal 6 is both the Hammers' joint heaviest ever home league defeat and our largest away league victory. Cricket. Cricket score. I mean, it's quite an historic moment, effectively. I mean, we've never had a better away game, and West Ham they've lost 6-0 before, clearly, but it's their joint heaviest home defeat. Bukayo Saka was all of us when Declan Rice scored that goal. I mean, I wasn't like that. I screamed. I screeched like a little girl when that flew in. Massive respect to Declan Rice for not celebrating that, because I would have lost my head. He was getting booed. He was getting jeered. And don't get me wrong, there were some fans that weren't booing him and they were clapping him, and rightfully so, respecting him for what he did for the club. But that goal flies in, I'm celebrating, whether it's 6-0 or not. And then just because. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's Operation Arsenal. I'll be back for the Burnley game. And then, very excited, the Champions League is back.